Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Garrett, the creator and host of the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette, Corvette Today. I recently got the Solar Engineering throttle controller and their 91mm throttle body for my 2023 70th anniversary white pearl metallic Stingray Coupe. I wanted to share how the install of the solar throttle body went. What makes it interesting is that I also have the Venturi carbon fiber cold air intake on my Corvette. I think this is probably the first solar throttle body attached to an Venturi cold air intake. A couple of weeks ago, I installed the solar throttle controller to my accelerator pedal. It was a very simple install, took me maybe 3 or 4 minutes, if that. And talking with the people at Solar, they told me that they work seamlessly together and provide more horsepower and a much better throttle response with the controller and the throttle body. Well, I knew that the solar throttle controller made a night and day difference already in the throttle response on my Corvette. So I was really anxious to have the two working together and see what kind of difference it would make on the car. The install was done at my local Hendrick Chevrolet dealership here in Kansas City. A shout out goes to Alex Foltz, my service manager, and also Logan, my tech, who did the install. Here's my car being pulled into the bay and getting ready for the Solar Engineering throttle body install. The first thing Logan did was remove the trunk carpeting. As you can see, I just got the new GM aftermarket microfiber trunk and frunk liners. They come in 3 colors, by the way: tan, black, and red. And as you can see, the red really makes the Venturi carbon fiber cold air intake stand out in the trunk. After unscrewing the latch downs and the hooks on the trunk, we took out that carpet, which includes the window for the Venturi cold air intake. After that, it was a matter of getting the cold air intake and its bracketing off the engine bay and removing it from the car. Once we had access to the OEM throttle body, it's as simple as disconnecting the tab on the side of the throttle body and removing the 4 screws on the throttle body itself. We took the 2 throttle bodies and held them side by side to get a visual comparison of both. Even Logan, my tech, noticed how much better the solar throttle body is than the OEM one. So once we had that done, the solar throttle body fits right back into the engine bay and onto the engine with the OEM screws. We reconnected the tab and tightened everything down on the new solar 91mm throttle body. Getting the Venturi carbon fiber cold air intake back in the car and reconnected to the engine is the next big step. It takes a few minutes to get that back into the Corvette and reconnected to the engine, but Logan has done this before, a couple times already as a matter of fact. He originally installed my Venturi carbon fiber cold air intake, as well as my Soul Performance Products aftermarket exhaust and the high performance cats. By the way, this exhaust is truly amazing and really, really loud. When my 70th anniversary Stingray pulls up every time, everyone stops and wants to know when I start the car which Corvette is making that big sound. So after the solar 91mm throttle body is installed and putting back the Venturi carbon fiber cold air intake with the window, Solar suggests starting the car, letting it run for 3 minutes at idle. Then shut it off for 1 minute and repeat that 2-step process one more time. This way, the ECU in the Corvette recognizes and learns the new solar throttle body. It also gives it time to connect with the solar throttle controller so the two can match up and work seamlessly together. You might have to drive your Corvette 30 or 40 miles to allow the throttle controller and the throttle body to pair up, but the results, they're well worth it. When I drove the Corvette off the dealership, I immediately felt the difference in the entire car. Throttle response was much quicker, and I could immediately tell the car had much more power too. Plus, the Corvette glided much easier and seemed to be less constrained. So combined with more power and terrific throttle response, I'm a real happy camper. I highly recommend Solar Engineering. Whether you get the throttle controller or the throttle body, or both, I promise you, you won't be disappointed. And when you go to solarengineering.com, SOLER engineering.com, be sure and use the promo code STEVE5. You'll get 5% off your total purchase at Solar. Thanks for watching and enjoy the Steve 5 discount at solarengineering.com, SOLER engineering.com.